Hi everyone, my name is CohhCarnage, back with another Thoughts video, this time on Bethesda's conference at E3 2019. We're going to save the overall thoughts for the end of the conference. Let's go right in order to what was displayed. Fallout 76. Fallout 76 is a project that has had a lot of trouble over the years. I do want to point out and say that it was very refreshing to have Todd Howard on stage saying self-deprecating things about how they kind of messed up multiple times with Fallout 76. I really enjoyed that. And honestly, that went a far way with me. It showed that there was at least a little bit of self-awareness, which honestly sometimes can be lost with companies as big as Bethesda. And I thought that was a really positive move in kind of like bringing some people back. Now, and good, in the off chance he ever hears this, seriously, good on you, Todd, for doing that. That was kind of cool. Fallout 76 is still in a relatively troubled state. There are bugs in the game that have been in there since release, since I have played. In fact, a couple of the bugs that I quit are still in the game. There have been some expansions and releases, but the big thing that was put into Fallout 76 is the new BR mode, the Battle Royale Fallout 76 mode. Now, what's kind of funny is BR in Fallout used to be a punchline. That was the joke, was that Fallout would eventually get a Fallout BR. That was what we said to make each other laugh at about how ridiculous the concept was. Welcome to 2019. Fallout BR has been announced at E3 2019. And this is the world we live in. Now, here's where it gets even weirder. Over the last couple days, Fallout BR has been out in the wild. I have ducked into and watched probably 15 plus streamers play this game. There is an above average amount of people that are enjoying it. I might try it. I know it's weird hearing it. Trust me, I'm just as confused as you are. There are people that are enjoying Fallout BR. It apparently has some kind of interesting mechanics. It looks like it's working pretty well. There's not a huge amount of crashing. It's kind of weird. Honestly, there is so much hate out for it that I don't even know if I'm going to stream trying it. Like it's that weird. But I will say that, you know, whenever I've had some free time in the mornings and evenings and I've tuned in to watch people play Fallout BR, I have seen so many people having fun. It still has issues. Don't get me wrong. It looks janky at times, but other times it looks like it's working fine. And other times it looks like it's doing exactly what it should be. Yeah, I was watching Shroud stream it. Dude, he was at one point just laughing and having a great time for like 10 minutes straight. Guys, I'm just as confused as you. Like, seriously, I'm just, no, for the record, and I want to make this very clear. People are like, sponsored streaming coming. At this point, I would not ever do a sponsored stream for Fallout 76. I would go back and look at it. I would go back and try it. But I have fundamental issues with the project. Even they haven't, for the record, but even if they offered me a sponsored streaming thing, I would not take it, because as I've said many times in the past, and this is something I stick to, I only take sponsored events for things I know I like or things that I actively want to try and I'm hoping I like. If it doesn't fall into those two categories, I don't accept money for it, period. Because I know I'm not going to take money for something that I'm just not interested in doing. And there's a good chance that I may play Fallout VR or BR for 5 minutes and not want to do it. So that's how I feel about the situation. You may see me play Fallout 76 BR on stream. You may, as many of you Steam people know, see me play it off stream. You may see it pop up there. But it's I do need to point out and say that I have watched a lot of people play this. And overall, a lot of people are having fun with it. So take that for what it is. It is important to mention it's free right now. So you can just download and try it, I think, for what, 4 more days without paying a penny. So if you are interested in checking it out in its current state, you can check that out. And again, guys, I've done a lot of ranting about Fallout 76 over the past 6 months, but I'm not just going to fall into this hole of being so negative about things that I can't bring in the positive things when they happen. And this is one of those situations. People are having fun, dudes. And we may check it out. So, with the best thing I can say, it's free. Check it out yourself, especially if you're a regular in my community. I want to know what you think. I am very interested in knowing what you guys think about this. Is it fun with friends? Is it terrible? Could you not get it to work? Did you play it for hours? I want to know what you guys think. So let me know, and feel free to just let's see where it goes. Let's see where it goes. And yeah, and of course, if you don't want to touch it at all, trust me, that's fine too. You do whatever you want to do. Next up, we have the Elder Scrolls Blades. I have a really hard time enjoying any game in any franchise when one of the first things it does when you start it is slaps you in the face for ways to make you give it ways for you to give it money. And that it's really hard for me to take any game seriously where giving the game money is a core mechanic. Where that is an aspect of the game is giving money. And not like Warframe, where they kind of put it in the back end and it's like, you can do this if you want, but it's very possible to do everything you want to. From what I understand, the structure of Blades is much more like you get bonuses for giving money. And I really don't like that. I'm not a fan. I'll wait for the Elder Scrolls 6. I will just pass games like this. If you are one of the people playing it and enjoying it, I'm not going to yuck your yum, but this is not a product for me. This is not a product for me. Also, I want to point out, the day that a mobile game like this comes out and is not featuring a core mechanic of essentially give us money, that will be the day that I'll start looking at a game like this. That will be the day when I will earn some respect for whatever company does that. I don't think we're there right now. But yeah, if you're having fun with it, I hope you're really enjoying it. Hey, wait, here we go. I always appreciate this kind of feedback. DJ Ugas, I have a level 50 guy, 0 money used. Story is fun, and it's a nice time. It's nice time to time to game and play, but it's short and ends up to be a town builder after. Okay, that's cool. I appreciate the feedback on that. Still, although that's cool and I like that, it's still the kind of thing where I'm sure through that entire journey to level 50, that stuff is being kind of thrown in your face and advertised, and that's the kind of stuff that I really don't want to see. Julia says, "Okay, Todd, paid actor." But anyway, hey guys, you gotta remain neutral on this stuff. Don't just pick a side and stick to it. Always be open to new information. Be the bigger bro. All right. Anyway, Ghostwire Tokyo. Ooh, okay. This is when it started getting good. This is when the conference started getting good for me. Oh wait, did we skip ESO? Did I skip ESO? Quick note before we continue about ESO. Probably one of the best looking in-house dev projects so far from Bethesda. I'm not a fan of ESO for a couple reasons. One of them being because we know for a fact it's the reason we don't have single player Elder Scrolls games, and I definitely prefer those. But I will say, for ESO players, it's looking good. I hope you're enjoying it. I'm not playing it right now, but I've heard it's gotten really good in the last couple years. So more power to ESO players. I hope you're having fun. Looks like you got some fun content coming down, so enjoy it. Okay, that's my ESO bit. Ghostwire Tokyo. Okay. Oh, I'm sorry. Apparently ESO's after Ghostwire. Really? Did they do it like that? Okay, that's weird. I thought they did all the dev stuff, then all the publishing stuff, but I guess that was right. We'll go into that a little bit more in a second. Okay, Ghostwire Tokyo. Let me start with the downside. No gameplay. That sucked. I really, really would have loved to see gameplay from this game. Because, oh man, I am sold on this game's aesthetic. That cinematic was awesome. I love the premise. I love the imagery. I love the pacing. I loved the hint at gameplay. The cinematic was fantastic. And also, Keanu Reeves may have gotten the best male performance of E3. But the lady that introduced Ghostwire, let's go ahead and say best female performance. I loved her. She was so great. You could tell she was oozing passion for her project. Like it was wonderful. Right when that was done, I found her on Twitter. I am following her. Like, she is awesome. Also, this is really cool. Couple things. First of all, Ghostwire is by the devs that made Evil Within. If you guys remember, we saw a bunch of Evil Within cinematics, and then it went to the gameplay, and we later learned that the transition was actually pretty good. Like, a lot of what we saw in the Evil Within cinematics actually kind of really translated well into the gameplay. So I'm hoping that they're going to continue that trend with Ghostwire. And if they do, that means that Ghostwire probably is shaping up to be pretty awesome. That's the first thing I want to say. Second of all, unbeknownst to a lot of people, we witnessed something very special on that stage. When the first gentleman came out and announced the project, he then forwarded the introduction to Ikumi Nakamura. Ikumi Nakamura is the progeny of the guy that introduced her. A lot of people that don't really connect it, we watched a passing of the torch. There's a lot of symbolism there. Not really a progeny, a protege, I think is a better way to say it. Protege. But that was very that was cool. That was really cool. They could have just had her come out and protege. I'm sorry, I got my pros mixed up. Progeny is a kid. Yeah, that has nothing to do with this. But that was a very kind of like little symbolic thing, and I thought that was really cool. They could have just had her come out and say it, but they didn't. Like, that was fun. That was really, really fun, and it was well done. So yeah, yes, exactly. So when the guy came out and we saw his photography on the right stage, she was just great. And yeah, it was really great. It's always good seeing a propeller on stage of someone else. It's just fantastic. But yeah, it was good. I liked Ghostwire. It was really good. And I can't wait to see more. Specifically, this is one of the most, this and Elden Ring. Is it Elden Ring? Those are the two games that I'm really looking forward to seeing gameplay from. I think they're gonna be pretty great. And the fact that the main guy had his proponent on the stream was just fantastic. So yeah, that was great. And looking forward to more from Ghostwire Tokyo, for sure. And I sell propane as well. We'll just throw another P word in there. Let's do it. Elder Scrolls Online. I just touched on this a little bit. Probably one of the best products from Bethesda Dev right now. Well, actually, I say Bethesda Dev, but ZeniMax, who owns Bethesda. But they're, to give credit where it's due, the Elder Scrolls Online crew is very passionate. I know a couple of the developers myself. They're doing the best they can, and a lot of times it shows. If there was an MMO that I was going to go back to right now, it would probably be ESO, that or Final Fantasy XIV. But it's come a long way. It's a project they've really stuck with. And there's a reason that it's still a really popular MMO these days. And there's a lot of very passionate people that play it. So that's all I'm going to say about it. Kudos to their team. Hopefully you guys can keep up this positive grind. And yeah. Good on them, man. Good on them. I like seeing success stories. I consider ESO a success story. It started as a Guild Wars 2 ripoff, essentially, let's be blunt. And it has since evolved into not only its own voice, but its own quality voice. And that's cool. That's really cool. Okay, Commander Keen. Oh. Fallout Shelter. Not really a lot of new stuff here. Fallout Shelter is, I mean, it's still Fallout Shelter. I don't even know if we saw anything. I'll be honest, I kind of tuned out during it. It's a mobile, weird, little, tiny, somewhat vault building game. It's, I don't know. Elder Scrolls Legend. It's a card game. Okay, let's see. What else do we have here? Rage 23 Rise of the Ghosts. One second. Oh. Rage 2. Yeah, so Rage 2 Rise of the Ghosts is the DLC coming out for Rage 2. Sorry, guys. I'm one of the people that liked Rage 2. I thought the gameplay was fun. I had a good time with it. I am actually looking forward to the DLC. I hope there's a lot of new content. You will see me play the DLC on the channel. I am, if you go around the United States and you take a poll of every single occupant, I am one of 14 people that enjoyed Rage 2 thoroughly. Yeah. How do you like them apples? I thought the gameplay was phenomenal. Of course, I did have some major issues with Rage 2. I thought the story, the entire main story of Rage 2 felt like a side quest. I definitely hope they take a more narrative approach in future Rage installments. Hopefully by the time we get to Rage 23, Rise of the Ghosts, they've gotten the formula down. But yeah, I'm looking forward to being able to having reasons to play more Rage. The only reason I stopped playing Rage 2 is because I got every weapon, I got every power, and I'd finished the main story. I did everything I wanted to. So I'm hoping in this that they give us some good tangible reasons to keep playing. Like I've said many times, and I really hope this message gets to the devs. Rage 2 is an amazing foundation of gameplay, but you need to build a decent narrative around it, and you could have a completely winning game. You needed to make it easier to get powers. You need to make it better and give more reasons to move through the stories. We need more iconic characters. We need semi-open world gameplay, so we're not just thrown into it and make the main quest feel like a side quest. There is so much potential in the Rage gameplay. Please build a good narrative around it. Oh man, it would be great. Anyway, all right, let's keep moving. Wolfenstein Cyberpilot. Oh, this is just the VR game. It looks like a little spin-off. It's basically a VR game where you hack into the big machines in Wolfenstein and you get to blow up other machines. Looks pretty cool if you're a VR person. I don't know if I'll be playing it. We'll see how it goes. We'll see how it goes. Wolfenstein Youngblood. Now, this is a game that I've been pretty hyped for. I've been pretty excited about. I like what I see from it every time, as I am a Wolfenstein fan. However, it has come to light over the last few days that apparently Wolfenstein Youngblood is going to be saturated with microtransactions. And the worst part is I have all the same concerns about this that I did Assassin's Creed Origins, which later turned out to be in some cases kind of true, where the way they're doing the microtransactions looks to fundamentally change the design of the game. So the premise in this is that you're going to be moving through levels in Wolfenstein and finding gold. And then you can use that gold to buy weapons. Well, you can also buy that gold for real money. And that unlocks attachments and weapons and all sorts of things. Now, the huge issue with this is when you just say it like that, it's like, oh, okay, whatever. I can still find the gold in game, right? But see, here's where it starts getting really, really gray. Imagine that somebody just designed a level in Wolfenstein, and all of the gold is near to or close to the main path that the player will be taking through the level. Because that's what the game designer wants. Well, as he's designing the level, somebody from marketing walks up behind him. And they go, "Hey, Phil, I noticed that all the gold is really close to where the main character is. That means that they're going to get all that gold without trying very hard. So what I need you to do is I need you to hide all that better." That seems a little bit light. Doesn't seem like a big deal. But that, I'm pretty sure, is the kind of thing that goes into this kind of stuff. When you make buying in-game progression a direct connection to somebody's wallet, then you get actual real incentives to making it harder for the player to get those items. Because here's the thing, there's a ratio at play. The harder the player has to work to get the items, the more inclined they will be to spend money on them. And that's a ratio that we're going to start seeing in these games that allow this kind of purchasing. Now, here's the thing. Obviously, I have no way to prove this. I can't tell you that it's even going on. But the problem is that it could be. And it might be. And in some cases, it could be dramatically affecting the game. So that's the problem. It's introduced all of this stuff that isn't there normally. All these weird, not good feelings are now a part of this title. And there's no way for us to know if that's taking place. It's wild. So that's one of the things that are really frustrating. Also, to address some stuff in chat. I beat AC Origins, but to be fair, and you guys are absolutely correct, I didn't spend a huge amount of time in it. And what I'm saying applies to it. But again, I'm not saying it always happens, but I'm just saying it now has the potential to happen. So even if some games like put in an experience bonus thing and then none of their gameplay is designed around it, it could be. Like that little bit of unknown has been introduced into the product. And like for instance, yeah, I meant Origins. Yeah, exactly. It's a slippery slope. So for instance, some people played Origins and did some side content and stuff, and their level was fine, and that was great. But there were entire articles written about people who tried to just do the main story of Origins and found their level going behind. So sure, some people it worked out fine with. I know a couple people in this community were very vocal about the fact that I just did the main story and it worked fine. But that's not how it worked for everyone. So you have to keep in mind, not everyone plays games like everyone else. And sometimes it doesn't work that way for other people. And you have to take those people into account too. So again, and don't get me wrong, I'm not making any commentary on the quality of the game. AC Origins, awesome. I've heard nothing good about I've heard nothing but good things about AC Odyssey 2. If you're an Assassin's Creed fan, that's great. I'm not saying the games are bad. I'm just, again, this is an interesting conversation to have about games like this, and one where there's not really a right answer. Yeah. Also, for the love of God, don't make an ACO following an ACO. Come on. There's lots of different words. You could have picked a different O word. Okay, anyway. There we go. Deathloop. Okay. Now, this is a very similar situation to Ghostwire, where I liked what I saw from the trailer, but of course, I really wish I had gotten gameplay. However, we later on learned some very cool things about Deathloop, which made it a lot better. So Deathloop is essentially the tale of two assassins caught on an island with a device that is constantly resurrecting both of them. One of them is trying to protect the cycle. The other one is trying to break the cycle. Now, at first I was very confused because I thought this was like a 1v1 spy versus spy like multiplayer game. Like maybe there was some kind of point system. Like I was very confused at first. However, what I later learned is that this game, from what I understand, is going to play more like a combination of Dishonored and Hitman. Apparently there is a large handcrafted world that the player will move through. And I believe you are playing the guy that wants to break the cycle. And your main enemy is the girl that wants to keep it going. Again, a lot of this stuff is like just kind of out there. We're not exactly sure what's going on. But from what we understand, the player is going to move through this large handcrafted world, taking out specific targets in an effort to get to whatever their goal is. Now, what's really cool about this is that it's by the people that made Dishonored, and Dishonored games are pretty freaking awesome. So there's a chance this could be great. Again, need to see more gameplay, need to get more details. But like, this is another situation where all the ingredients are good. Like, there's a chance, we don't know what the dish is yet, but the ingredients going into the dish are sounding pretty good. And we're going to have to see where it's going to go. So I'm pretty excited for this, mainly because it's Arcane Studios, and I love Arcane Studios. I loved Prey. I love Dishonored. I'm a big fan. So I bought a ticket to this ride. Let's go, Arcane. Let's see where you're taking us. I'm excited. Orion. 90% sure this was their streaming service. Let me do a very quick look here. There were so many of these, man, that like it got a little bit rough. Sign up for a chance to be among the first in the world to stream Doom using Orion technology for free. Okay, yeah. So this is kind of like their cloud stuff. Again, I don't really have too much. I don't really have too much to talk about with this stuff because it's most of these things were just big lofty buzzwords about upcoming streaming technology. All of this stuff, in my opinion, all of these streaming techs, I'm kind of on pause with all of them because for me, I don't care what buzzwords you use. I don't care about any of that stuff. All I care about is the implementation and how that's going to allow gamers to play their games. And until I can see that, I don't really care about any of the other stuff. Again, because I've been burned so many times by these services over the last years that have been like, yeah, we're going to offer streaming gameplay. It's going to be great. Everything from your... And it sucks. So we'll see. Okay, Chad is clearing this up saying it's a technology to make streaming faster. It is a tech for other services. Cool. Okay, that sounds great. Again, that really doesn't mean anything to me. So I can't wait to see how that tech is going to be implemented for the gamer. That's what I care about. That's what I want to see. So until I even really get interested in this stuff, I'm going to wait for that keyword implementation, and we're going to see where that goes. Yeah. I mean, it's cool to hear about it, but yeah, we'll see. I don't feel like I need to say much about this one. It's Doom 2. It's basically the next remake in Doom. And it's looking great. Music is awesome. The fatalities look great. The levels look awesome. The monsters are great. Just it's just great. It's just great. I can't wait for Doom Eternal. It's going to be fantastic. I'm going to be playing it as early as I possibly can. Doom gameplay is some of the better gameplay out there. Just put a period on that. Doom gameplay is some of the best gameplay. And I can't wait to play more. Can't wait. Let's do it. Overall thoughts on the Bethesda conference. My overall thoughts for the Bethesda conference were split right down the middle, like I was saying kind of at the beginning. I really enjoyed the publishing aspect. I loved seeing Deathloop. I loved seeing Ghostwire. I really enjoyed seeing the new stuff coming from Arcane. Doom looks good. The Wolfenstein stuff looks good. I really like Bethesda as a publisher. I feel like they're doing it right. However, just like the publishing side was good, I felt like the dev side was pretty terrible. I'm not a big fan about how much they're pushing their mobile games. Commander Keen was just hard to watch. Seeing that woman get that excited about what happened to Commander Keen hurt me on a spiritual level. It was pretty hard to see that. ESO was kind of, I'd say, the star of the dev side. Not really interested in Legends, not really interested in Blades, not super interested in the Fallout 76 stuff. Okay, thanks, babe. And yeah, I mean, for me, it was two distinct halves of a conference, and I didn't really. It kind of ended up neutral for me. It kind of ended up neutral. Loved the publishing side. Wasn't a big fan of the other side. So yeah, that's kind of where I was with that. And that's what I feel about Bethesda. I will say that I think next year Bethesda has a chance to kind of come back, especially if we hear like stuff about Starfield, and it's positive. If we hear stuff about Elder Scrolls 6, we really haven't gotten much new stuff at all on the Bethesda dev side for the last couple years. 76 being the only thing, and it turned out to be pretty rough. So I think that Bethesda, this is kind of another a down year for Bethesda dev, But as we start moving into next year for Starfield and ES6 the year after that, I kind of hope they're really going to make those a star of the show and make kind of the mobile stuff a little bit more muted. Although I hate to say it, we know that's not going to be the case because the mobile stuff is making them tons of money and they want to promote that as much as possible. Yeah, that's kind of where we are with that. So on that note, that is going to sum up the Bethesda conference. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. We'll be doing some more thoughts videos on the E3 conferences as we move forward. They may be available now or they may be available in a few days. Keep your eyes on my YouTube for more. I want to thank you guys for watching as always. I hope I provided some little bit of insight on how I'm feeling about this stuff. And yeah, thanks for being here. See you next video.